My name's Jim Zalakowski and I'm part of buildOn. I am here to recruit you and get you involved in buildOn, because I think you're going to find that you can change the community, you can change this neighborhood, and you can change the world, literally. It's all about the choices that you make and how you follow through.
Jim Zalakowski is a believer in action, a belief that was forged at Michigan State.
I got a tremendous amount out of my education there. I feel like MSU really pushed me to focus, be disciplined, and work hard.
Jim graduated from Michigan State in 1988 with a degree in finance. But instead of entering the corporate world, he went in search of the real world.
I spent most of my time hitchhiking and backpacking in developing countries. And the first real experience that I had with extreme poverty was in Nepal. I passed through a village, and it was different. They were celebrating the opening of a school, and they had built this school themselves. It was profound for me because, I had seen the poverty and I'd seen the impact of the poverty. But in this village, I saw the hope and the courage and the determination that these communities have. And it surrounded and it revolved around education. But when I came back, I started to look around in the United States and I started to see the poverty in our own inner cities especially. A very, very intense, different but very intense poverty. And I just felt a very strong sense of responsibility to act on what I had seen.
Jim acted. The result? buildOn, an organization that empowers high school students to make a difference in local communities and around the world.
buildOn is literally breaking the cycle of poverty, illiteracy, and low expectations through service and education.
buildOn has created 139 after-school programs across America, where students have contributed more than 830,000 hours of service.
We do so much community service, cleaning up parks, beaches, helping kids, autistic kids, going to soup kitchens, giving soup to homeless people. It's like a Save the World project.
I've seen a tremendous impact. There's just the small things, like having the kids, just having something positive to do on the weekends.
95% of the kids, the seniors in buildOn, not only graduate high school, but they go to college. And these are kids from some of the toughest high schools in the country.
buildOn also raises funds to send high school students around the world to construct schools in developing countries.
Every 6 days, we inaugurate another buildOn school because American students got involved in this, because they believed in it, and because they still engage.
buildOn has helped me build character, and I kind of feel like that's one of the reasons why I wanted to stick with it.
Isaac Herrera attended Gage Park High School on the south side of Chicago. He was a member of a buildOn team that built a school in Mali, Africa.
If I can go to Mali and work on building a school in 122-degree weather, I feel like I can overcome any obstacle in my life.
When Isaac came back, he was just overflowing with this new inner confidence. He's always been a fantastic human being, but I think part of this experience is sort of making him realize that.
I noticed one thing was many students here in this country take something very important for granted, and that's education. And over there, it's a totally different story, They don't have it, therefore they embrace it when they get the chance.
They see these communities building that school in the 100-degree heat. They realize how valuable education is, and they take their own education that much more seriously. And they realize that they can change the world. And that's when the real change, transformation for them happens, because they elevate expectations, they take their own education a lot more seriously, and there's nothing that can stop them. When students realize what they're capable of, when they gain that sense of control over their own destiny, they are empowered, and there is nothing that can stop them. And that's why so many of them not only finish high school, but go on to college.
20 years ago, Jim Zalakowski established the first buildOn program in one of America's toughest inner cities.
The first programs that we set up in urban schools in inner cities were in the South Bronx, which is the poorest congressional district in the United States.
To honor 20 years of buildOn, Jim wished to lead a group of students to break ground on the organization's 400th international school. And he knew exactly where to find his volunteers for this expedition.
So we decided we were going to take kids from the South Bronx to Nepal, which is where the idea for building schools came from, to break ground and help build that 400 school. And the kids, you know, that we're able to immerse in that experience, it's transformational.
In February 2011, Jim flew 15 students over 7,500 miles from New York to Nepal.
When we first stepped off the bus to go into their village, the whole community had flowers to give us so they could put around our necks, just to show that we were welcome there. And then they danced and sang and they performed for us.
Everybody in the community signs a covenant. And the kids sign them, I sign it, and it outlines their commitment to contributing all the unskilled labor. Very few people in this village could actually sign their own names. All they can do is add their fingerprints and their thumbprints because they are completely illiterate. And there was one woman in particular who was very stoic, very intense about signing this covenant. All she could do was weep because she was humiliated. She never had a chance to go to school. And I'm standing there listening to that and watching our students working side by side with her to build that school. There's no way I can possibly describe, you know, the impact that had on me.
Students from the South Bronx spent 8 days working hand in hand with the Nepalese to begin the construction of the school, which the Nepalese completed later that summer.
I liked what I was doing. Like, I could actually say that I changed one person's life. I changed a whole group of people's lives, and I like that.
What other organization can make you achieve this? Everybody looks up to you like, yo, you built a school. And then they look at you like you're some type of hero.
And we were so honored, profoundly honored to be working side by side with this community to build their first school, which is even more important than the fact that it's our 400th school.
Over 400 schools later, Jim Zelkowski is still traveling the country, trying to recruit more students to his program with proven results.
I know there are more kids sitting in those classrooms just waiting for a chance. They have this insatiable appetite to make change. That's the power that you guys have, each of you. Whenever I'm able to come into a high school like this, I look at it as a very sacred, important opportunity to show the students what can be done and to show them through other students so that they can see, you know, what they're capable of.
Without buildOn, I don't think that I would be able to be the person that I am today.
I don't think I could ever achieve anything as big as this. It changed my life because I take my education seriously now.
And I believe strongly that it is because they reach out in their own communities. They extend their hands, they open their arms, they serve, and they lift up their communities. They change the world by building schools. That's why I love doing what we're doing.